Multi-talented singer and actress and star Beyonce is now being recognized by the country music community after she became the first Black woman to ever top Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart, thanks to her country debut single, Texas Hold'em, which opened at #1 and 16 Carriages at #9 on the Hot 100. Country music is still considered by many as a space for white artists, despite being born out of the Black American experience. And while Beyonce is making history in the genre, there are many legendary Black musicians who played a role in making country music what it is today. Charlie Pride, Ray Charles, and the legendary Pointer Sisters, who made history by being the first Black vocal group to perform their country song Fairy Tale on the Grand Ole Opry stage. Joining me now to discuss the complicated racial legacy of country music, Queen Esther, producer, songwriter, and historian, along with Amin Abdelmahmoud, host of CBC's Commotion podcast and author of the Rolling Stone piece titled Rewriting Country Music's Racist History. Guys, thank you both so much for being here. Queen Esther, I want to start with you. Why hasn't the country music industry embraced Black country artists more?
Well, what's interesting is that they did. Initially, country music was mostly played by jazz musicians, Black jazz musicians. And all of us were listening to this music. The lines were blurred. Everyone was playing the instruments. Everyone was listening to the music. There was a divide when it came time to sell it. This was a marketing ploy run amok.
A marketing ploy went amok, and one that can be rectified or is on the way to being rectified?
I think that it can, because there are so many Black country, alt Americana, country adjacent artists out there. For every Rhiannon Giddings or Beyonce that you see, there's hundreds more, a jillion, really, that are waiting in the wings, that have been working and gigging and writing songs and putting themselves out there.
Amin, you wrote about how the artist Yola and how Vogue magazine described her as breaking the country stereotype of mournful white guys strumming guitars. Why has country music been positioned as the domain of white artists?
I mean, the simple answer is laziness. The more complicated answer is like a long history of learning that, you know, the country music used to be called the white man's blues. Like, this is kind of entwined to the mythology of country music. It's a mythology that is not correct. As Queen Esther just pointed out, there is this long and deep history of, you know, at the turn of the 20th century, you have Black and white string bands kind of making the same music. Comes along Ralph Peer, a music executive, who decides that it's actually a little bit easier to sell information, sell country music as race records in terms of Black artists, and then for white artists, it's a little bit easier to sell as hillbilly music, and that label is a label that becomes modern day country music. And so there's like a very long history of race being marketed, being a tool of marketing country music to white people, even though there is, as you mentioned at the intro, this long and deep history of Black artists in country music. You have these images right now that are passing through of a lot of country artists. That's Darius Rucker, Mickey Guyton, Kane Brown, but also this history goes back a long way. You have people like Linda Martell, who was the first Black woman to play the Grand Ole Opry. DeFord Bailey was the first Black man to play the Opry, and he was, you know, that was an incredibly long time ago. But country music has had a history of letting only one artist through at a time, and I think what's significant about this moment is Beyonce sort of challenging that orthodoxy.
I want to dig into that history a little bit more. Queen Esther, in your TED Talk, you described the so-called bending the note and its African origins. Can you tell us more about this country twang as we now know it today?
Absolutely. I think the thing that you really want to hold on to inside of all of this is that blues is the sonic DNA of American music. Without blues, you cannot have American music as we know it. It just wouldn't exist. It's kind of like a good roux that you use to make gumbo. Without the roux, you just have vegetables or maybe a good broth, but you don't have gumbo. You really need blues. And what is blues made of? It's chants, work chants, field hollers. It's call and response. It is all of these African traditions that have existed in Africa for thousands of years that was brought here by enslaved Africans. So at the core of all of American popular music, that's really what makes the whole engine run. Without that, it just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist as we know it. It would be something else. Maybe, I don't know, Norwegian folk tunes. I have no idea. But
I love that you're able to
wouldn't be
identify that. I love that you're identifying that, because something so many of us are used to hearing, but knowing that history maybe makes you listen to it a little bit differently.
It's the bluing of the note. And by that, I mean there is a kind of dissonance inside of the note when you bend it. That is ancient. That is of old. And that is Blackness. It is, at its essence, the blackest thing on the planet.
And Amin, I do want to get your take on this history-making moment for Beyonce. Does this open the door to other artists to follow, other Black country music artists to kind of be more quickly recognized? Did it take Beyonce for us to have this moment, to have this conversation?
Look, the light of Beyonce shines upon a lot of people in this particular moment, and that's very useful. I think what a lot of country writers that I've been following have been saying, writers like Andrea Williams and the Tennessean have been talking about using this moment to build the infrastructure so that country radio can no longer deny all the Black artists that they've been denying for a long time. Look, country music establishment has had Reese Palmer for years. They've had Mickey Guyton for years. They've had these artists available to them, and country radio has made excuse after excuse after excuse for not playing them. So when we get to this moment, and Beyonce sort of forces her own energy fields, right? Like the very arrival of Beyonce has catapulted this song to #1. Look, anybody who watches the country music charts will tell you that is not a chart that moves quickly. It does not tend to respond that quickly. But Beyonce's arrival kind of changes things. I think what is important, though, is that this should be used as a moment to build the infrastructure so that radio, which is still a gigantic force in country — I know it's not a gigantic force in most other pop music genres, but in country music, radio is really significant. And if you don't have the infrastructure to play the women who have been making music for so long, then you really have a kind of moment of crisis, because like it's good that Beyonce's here, it's good that Beyonce's introducing this to this moment. But what's more important is that, you know, what happens after Beyonce's moved on after this.
Amin Abdelmahmoud and Queen Esther, thank you both so much for this fascinating conversation.